understatement for what's going on with the Cowboys. Jerry Jones got on Michael Irvin's YouTube channel, told him he negotiated a deal with Micah Parsons personally back in March that would have made him the richest non-quarterback in the league. And Jerry says Parsons' agent told him take that offer and shove it.
I have agreed to give more money than has ever been given in terms of guaranteed money than anyone ever has as far as a defensive player. I've done that. Now I am the cat that writes the check. When we wanted to send the details to the agent told us to stick it up.
Wait, now see, I was
just so you're clear.
Wait. What do you mean? So wait.
Well,
what do you mean? Because people going to ask.
Mike and I talked, and then we were going to send it over to the agent. And we had our agreements on term, amount, guarantees, everything. We were going to send it over to the agent. And the agent said, don't bother because we've got all that to negotiate.
So what do the kids do, Scooby, when they break up these days?
What?
You know what they do? They take you off their social media. Yeah. And Thursday night, that's exactly what Micah Parsons did. He scrubbed all of his social media. I'm talking Twitter, IG, of any mention of the Dallas Cowboys. So let me bring in our senior NFL writer, Jeremy Fowler, and try to get some answers out of all this. So you got Jerry Jones saying that he and Micah Parsons, basically, that his agent told him, take that offer and shove it where the sun don't shine. What can you share about what happened between Jerry and obviously Micah Parsons?
Where do you start? We're just shaking our head. I will start with, I was told from a Cowboy source that no, Jerry Jones did not hear that directly from agent David Mulugeta. It was more about, figuratively speaking, that was somehow the message Jerry Jones got through all this. He legitimately feels what he's saying there, that somehow he got duped, even though this is all part of the process. You negotiate with an agent. So, look, the Cowboys are telling me that they are, they still have no plans to trade Micah Parsons. They have gotten multiple inquiries on him. There is a lot of interest league-wide in potentially doing a deal, but sources there tell me that they still expect by week 1 at some point they can get a deal with Parsons. Even someone over there related it to Nick Bosa a few years ago, the star pass rusher. He got a deal done like a Tuesday or Wednesday midweek before the first game. Came back, was a little rusty. Like, they're prepared for this to bleed out for the next couple weeks, see where it goes. But I haven't talked to anybody there who expects him to be playing in another uniform. It's just they have run every play in the playbook as far as sticky negotiations, the trade request, the scrubbing of social media, the agent going buck wild. I mean, everything possible has happened. They still believe somehow they can reach a deal. But they got an uphill battle, though, at this point.
You're right about that. Obviously earlier this month, even on that Netflix documentary, Jerry Jones said the Cowboy is a soap opera 365 days a year, and they've certainly got one here with the Micah Parsons situation. Jeremy, stay close. More from you in a moment.
The Bears head to Kansas City tonight, and both Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes will start and play in their final preseason game. Williams only played 2 series against Buffalo last week, albeit against their backups. But tonight, he'll face the Chiefs starters. And we're fortunate enough to be joined by our starter, Bears reporter Courtney Cronin. And Courtney, Ben Johnson said he was going to test Caleb Williams more than he has ever been tested in his entire football career. So how has he handled the challenge so far this preseason?
There have been days where it's felt like he's taken a couple steps ahead and a couple steps back. And Ben Johnson said that that's normal for a young quarterback learning a very complicated new offense. But this week, he said he's been locked in, and that's coming off his best stretch of practice, the last 3 days going into the Buffalo game, and then what you saw there from Caleb Williams and the first-team offense at Soldier Field. What really impressed Ben Johnson was that they start out at the 8-yard line, and they don't blink. Obviously, it's not great starting field position, but Williams was calm. He operated under center. He operated in the shotgun. He was able to go through his reads, throw with timing, anticipation. He flipped the protection at the line of scrimmage. He made checks. He did all the right things that Ben Johnson has been asking him to do all throughout training camp. And I was curious. I asked Caleb Williams, how different is your head coach on the headset in games versus practice? Because that was his preseason debut. He said he's much calmer in games than he is in practice when he's trying to get a lot out of him. And he noticed that specifically. He had the earpiece on later in the game when he was out, he noticed Ben Johnson not even blink. After a long review challenge before a fourth down call, went in, gave it to Tyson Bagent, said go for it, and he said that gives the quarterbacks confidence when it's relayed that clearly to them.
That's a message to our producers. You hear that when you're talking to us in our ear? When
Make it clear.
It makes us better as well. Now, in Caleb Williams' 13 snaps that spanned 2 drives, he was 6 for 10 for 107 yards and a touchdown with a 103.6 passer rating. Now, Caleb and the first teamers will get their final reps tonight in Kansas City against their starters. So what is Chicago's plan heading into the finale?
Ben Johnson said to be determined how long starters will play. I would imagine it'll mirror something what Kansas City does because they too are playing their starters. But 2 drives for the starting offense last week, 1 series, quick 3 and out for the defense. They're trying to get their feet wet. They're trying to make sure they're comfortable with the operation. It's still getting out of the huddle with the play call clearly delivered to his teammates, getting to the line of scrimmage with enough time to diagnose everything. And I think what I mentioned earlier about him going under center, that's what the team wants to see more of. Does he master that the way that they want him to? We saw him take a 7-step drop, Scooby, from under center. That doesn't happen that often in today's NFL. So being able to see more mastery of that, more comfort with that, more comfort with the overall operation is what the Bears are looking for from Caleb Williams in the starting offense in tonight's game.
This is literally one of the most exciting teams to watch this season because this is a generational talent we talked about when he was getting drafted out of college. Courtney, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are among the Chiefs starters we'll see on the field tonight. What to expect, plus one-on-one with Mahomes coming right up.
Oh, it's going to be lights, Cam, action for Cam Ward and the Titans in their preseason finale. Titans host the Vikings tonight. Last tune-up for the #1 overall pick. Ward's only played in 5 series so far in the preseason. His last game, a little erratic. Just 2 completions, 7 attempts for 42 yards. Tennessee would like to see more. So let's go out to Nashville. Our NFL national reporter, Lindsey Theory, is there. You know, Lindsey, you talk to everybody outside of that facility about Cam Ward, and they say the same thing. Football's everything to Cam Ward. But my question is, where is his growth with this offense going into tonight in this preseason tune-up?
Brian, Cam Ward says he's real close to fully understanding this Titans offense and playbook. He says the key right now is to just getting more reps so he can be even more dialed in to the scheme, the protections, and the needed route adjustments. Now, what's helped him get up to speed has been his constant dialogue with his receivers. Ward says he's constantly telling them where he needs to be, what he expects out of them, and in return, his receivers are telling him what they need out of their quarterback. And keeping with the theme of communication, that same type of communication is happening with Ward's coaches. He says he even receives some late-night texts explaining what he needs to be doing better or what they're seeing on film that he can continue to work on. As for tonight, what we can see from Ward, Coach Brian Callahan says starters will certainly play. It's to be determined how many series they will be out there for. Ward says tonight his emphasis will be playing fast and getting in and out of the huddle.
And obviously progress as well. Cam Ward just 7 of 15 for 109 yards. No TDs in limited action so far in the preseason. So Tennessee will be taking on the Vikings. Then you've got J.J. McCarthy. Look, he's going to sit out for this game, and you won't see him take any snaps until week 1 of the regular season. So what can you share about what his progress has been with this Minnesota offense, considering this will be his first full season and obviously first full season as a starter as well?
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell's a bit of a quarterback whisperer, and he has been very conscientious about his practice plans for J.J. McCarthy. O'Connell really emphasizing that he does not want to overcoach his young quarterback. He really wants him to be able to test his natural instincts, but he also has to balance that with preparing McCarthy for an actual game. As for McCarthy, he says his confidence is high, in fact, as high as it's ever been, and that's in part because of the players and the coaches that he's surrounded by. One of those players recently returned to practice, receiver Justin Jefferson, has been a guy who McCarthy's been able to lean on, especially in the film room. Jefferson has been emphasizing that when you're watching a defense, you can see what they're doing all week, but on Sundays or on game day, you absolutely need to prepare for what you're not seeing on film, because a defense, a good one, will switch it up to give you looks that you have never seen before. And Brian, as far as looks that they have never seen before, this is a guy that the Vikings hope to see again. Adam Thielen. He's a veteran receiver with the Panthers who has plenty of familiarity with the Vikings. They are in need of receiver help with Jordan Addison facing a 3-game suspension and Jalen Naylor dealing with a hand injury. So the Vikings are trying to acquire Thielen from the Panthers to help the receiver room to start the season.
Yeah, the receiver room certainly has been decimated with injuries. Adam Thielen had some great years, by the way, with the Vikings. And J.J. McCarthy start the season against the Bears. So you got McCarthy against Caleb Williams, September 8th. Monday Night Football, which will be simulcasted on ABC, ESPN. Don't forget, you can check it out on the new ESPN streaming app as well. Lindsey Theory in Nashville. Thank you.
Our senior NFL writer, Jeremy Fowler, back with us to go through some notable QB situations. So, Jeremy, Jackson Dart's preseason campaign has Giants fans on the edge of their seat right now. So, what does this mean for New York's QB plan heading into the regular season?
Well, Scooby, the Giants cannot hide their excitement internally about Jackson Dart. They love how tough he is. They love that he's a fast learner, highly motivated. But Russell Wilson's still starting. That hasn't changed anything yet. But it does potentially affect the flow of things as we get into the season. Russell Wilson probably has to win some games to stave off this player. We've seen this playbook in the past with other quarterback situations when you have a good rookie who's ready to go. But you saw that play where Dart fell forward and didn't slide. Privately, some people with the Giants kind of love that because it shows he's such a competitor. Brian Daboll loves that about him. So he will see the field eventually. He's acquitted himself well. He's done everything he should have in this whole process. And you got the Cleveland Browns, a little different situation. You got 2 rookies waiting to play. You got Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. Each will get a look when they play this weekend, but Joe Flacco will get the start. The expectation is Flacco will get about 20 to 25 snaps, and then the battle for the QB2 position on that team is on. Gabriel will go first. He's been higher on the depth chart, and then Sanders. So it's possible the Browns still keep 4 quarterbacks with Kenny Pickett, depending on his injury, but they like both rookies. They don't plan to trade either one in the next coming days. They appear to be in the plans as they move forward to the roster. Then you got the New Orleans Saints, so they're still battling this out. No firm clarity yet on who the starter will be. It appears that Spencer Rattler, the second-year quarterback, has had a little bit of an edge over Tyler Shuck, the rookie, but they want to see more. They're given this time to play out, so this weekend will be absolutely crucial as far as how the pecking order goes.
Wow, that is everything that we need to know heading into the regular season, because we know, especially that Browns QB situation is where everyone has their eyes on.
Hey, we got some breaking news here into SportsCenter. Adam Schefter reports the Commanders are trading running back Brian Robinson to the 49ers for a 2026 6th-round pick. You know, Washington didn't play its lead back from the previous 3 seasons in the last preseason game, and they were looking for a trade. San Fran has, of course, Christian McCaffrey as their lead running back. Meanwhile, the Micah Parsons contract saga continues to take turns. And with the 4-time Pro Bowler still holding in, no talks happening, Dallas owner and GM Jerry Jones made the media rounds, giving his side of the story. He went one-on-one with Stephen A. Smith.
There's right now about 3 entities involved in the Micah Parsons deal that really count, and that's not to dismiss everything about the organization and the Cowboys.
What are the 3 entities?
Micah, me, sitting out there, and about a mile back is that agent. These are the 2 to get it done. Always has. And these are the 2 that be sitting there working it out when it hits the fan, when it's not between the lines on that contract. That's why I'm going to do it. Micah's got agent.
Yeah, David Mulligetta to be exact.
And that agent is within a phone call of talking about any detail that was there and was available with any detail that was there. We have agreed on how long this is going to be, and we've agreed on the amount of guarantees it's going to be.
You and Micah.
The package is the biggest ever paid a non-quarterback. That's where we are.
Right.
That's where we are.
What, Jerry?
But because a third party, rather than me and Micah, has got to come in. Why? Because he's got to get his fingerprint on it?
Come on, Jerry.
Come on, please. He's got to get his fingerprint on it. You're not talking to the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. You're talking to the general manager of the Cowboys. And so all these teams, owners, may not be involved. But in this case, I am the general manager. My job is to do the contract.
Now you can hear Stephen A's hour-long conversation with Jerry Jones on Stephen A's YouTube channel. So let's bring in our senior NFL writer, Bill Barnwell here. So So the contract talks are at a standstill. We're less than basically 2 weeks away before the Cowboys face the Eagles and Saquon Barkley, and we